George VI was born on December 14, 1895, in Sandringham, Norfolk, England. He was the second son and the third child of King George V and Queen Mary. He had 5 siblings, including his elder brother Edward, who would later become Edward VIII. As a member of the royal family, George VI was raised in a highly privileged environment. He received a rigorous education, studying a wide range of subjects, including history, literature, and mathematics. He was also trained in military strategy and tactics, in preparation for his future role as Commander-in-Chief of the British Armed Forces. George served in the Royal Navy during World War I, and fought in the Battle of Jutland in 1916, the great naval battle of the war. Later he joined the Royal Air Force and became a qualified pilot in 1919. George VI's original name was Albert Frederick Arthur George. He was known as Bertie to his family and friends. In 1923, George VI married Elizabeth Bowes Leon, who would later become known as the Queen Mother. The couple had 2 daughters, Princess Elizabeth, born in 1926, and Princess Margaret, born in 1930. When he became king, he took the regnal name George VI, in honor of his father, King George V. Edward VIII, George VI's elder brother, was next in line for the throne after their father's death. However, Edward's decision to marry Wallis Simpson, an American socialite who had been divorced twice, caused a constitutional crisis in the United Kingdom. Edward was forced to abdicate the throne in December 1936, and George VI became king. George VI's succession to the throne was a difficult and uncertain time for both him and the country. He was not prepared for the role of king, having been raised as the spare to the heir. He was also nervous about his public speaking abilities, which were impaired by a pronounced stammer. George VI's coronation took place on May 12, 1937, at Westminster Abbey in London. George was 41 at the time. It was a grand ceremony that was attended by many dignitaries from around the world. He was a reluctant king who was crowned on the day his brother was supposed to have become king. George VI's struggle with his stammer was a major challenge throughout his life. He received treatment from several speech therapists, including Lionel Logue, who was portrayed in the movie, The King's Speech. During World War II, George VI played an important role as a symbol of British resistance and resilience. He visited troops on the front lines, both in the United Kingdom and overseas, and gave radio broadcasts that helped to boost morale. Buckingham Palace was bombed during the Blitz, but the royal family stayed in residence. George's younger brother, the Duke of Kent, was killed on active service. As the war ended, the elation of the people spilled out onto the streets of London, and around Buckingham Palace, the rejoicing people were shouting, "We want the king, we want the king." The war had a profound impact on George VI, both physically and emotionally. He suffered from a number of health problems, including respiratory issues and stress-related conditions. After the war, George VI played a key role in the formation of the Commonwealth of Nations, which replaced the British Empire. He also oversaw the granting of independence to several former British colonies, including India and Pakistan. King George and his family made several tours abroad, including Canada and the United States in 1939, and South Africa after the war in 1947. His planned tour of Australia and New Zealand were cancelled in 1949 due to ill health. George VI was a keen sportsman and was particularly fond of cricket, tennis and horse racing. He also enjoyed hunting and fishing, and was an accomplished sailor. George VI was a patron of the arts and was particularly interested in painting and sculpture. He supported the Royal Academy of Arts in London and was a collector of modern British art. George VI's health began to decline in the late 1940s. He suffered from a number of serious illnesses, including lung cancer and arteriosclerosis. In 1951, George VI underwent surgery for lung cancer. He made a partial recovery, but his health continued to deteriorate. George VI died on February 6, 1952, aged 56. George VI's death came as a shock to the nation and the Commonwealth. He had been a beloved monarch, who had guided the country through some of its most challenging times. Following George VI's death, his elder daughter, Princess Elizabeth, ascended to the throne as Queen Elizabeth II. She was on a royal tour of Kenya at the time of her father's death and had to cut short her trip and return to the United Kingdom immediately. George VI was buried at St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle, on February 15, 1952. His funeral was attended by members of the royal family, government officials, and representatives of foreign countries. George VI's legacy as a king is a complex one. He is remembered for his leadership during World War II and for his efforts to modernize the monarchy and promote the Commonwealth. He is also remembered for his struggles with his stammer and for his dedication to his family and country. Today, he is seen as a symbol of a bygone era, when the monarchy played a central role in British life and politics.